Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you spent hours and hours investigating a problem to improve how work gets done? You analyze the situation, find tools, make plans for improvement, and then excitedly share your ideas with your colleagues, only to hear responses like,
Sounds nice in theory, but not in practice.
Sounds good on paper, but
Theoretical versus practical.
seems like a genius idea until you try it.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
and perhaps,
Maybe we'll get around to it someday, but not right now.
and what do you do then? You say, okay, okay. You say, okay. So, have you been in this situation? Come on, we have all been there. But why does this happen? Hi, I'm Mark, a professional Scrum Master, and this series for anyone aiming to achieve Scrum Master certification at any level, learn or update their Scrum knowledge, and advance their career as a Scrum Master. We'll cover questions at 3 levels: fundamental, advanced, and expert, that you might encounter in exams or real-life scenarios. We'll delve deep, exploring questions from various angles, understanding what for fundamental knowledge, how for advanced insights, and why for expert understanding. So let's jump into today's questions. Feel free to pause this video, take notes, and think through your answers.
Which of the following are Scrum values? Select all that apply. A. Openness. B. Focus. C. Respect. D. Courage. E. Commitment. F. Transparency. G. Coaching. H. Empiricism. I. Investigation. J. Cross-functional teams.
In a situation where you are part of a newly formed Scrum team as a Scrum Master, and trust among team members is a challenge, which Scrum value might be impacted by trust? A. Openness. B. Focus. C. Respect. D. Courage. E. Commitment. F. All of the above. G. None of them.
A new Scrum developer brought up in the sprint retrospective that her ideas were consistently ignored by the rest of the Scrum developers and product owner during her first sprint with the team. Which Scrum values were disregarded by the Scrum team?
Let's talk about Scrum values. But for a moment, let's forget about Scrum entirely. So, question: what kind of environment would you like to work in? How should it be? Describe it. Share your ideas in the comments. How do you imagine it? What do you like about your job? What changes would you like to see in your current work environment? So what are your choices? Do you have something about supporting each other? Like, for example, when colleagues with more experience support newcomers. So in Scrum, this is called commitment. And you might think, wait a minute, commitment and supporting each other are different things. But just think about it. If you are truly committed to your work and your environment, can you do it without support? I believe without support there is no commitment. Okay, what other choices did you make? Do you have something about concentration or prioritization? Like knowing what you are going to do now and what you will do next. So in Scrum, this is focus. What about honesty, willingness, or inclusiveness? These are crucial. They form the openness needed to work with people. We all have emotions and different personalities. We are not robots, right? So we need to understand each other in a human way. We should be open to each other, share our knowledge, and give and receive feedback. In Scrum, this is openness. What other keywords are there? Appreciation, consideration, recognition, mindfulness, diversity. Yes, we are people working with people. And of course, there are people we don't like. I might like Marvel, you're a DC fan. I'm a metalhead, you prefer pop. I love sushi, you like pizza. I drive a BMW and you prefer bikes. We can't change our preferences, and that's okay. But we should respect everyone. Respect, respect, respect. For me, respect is the most important value, no matter the circumstances or environment. So in Scrum again, next one is respect. And finally, determination, bravery, courage. Do you feel like Captain America in your working environment? Look, this is funny, but that's so important. And no, courage is not about finding Red Skull in your office and defeating him. No, courage is about setting a definition of done. Courage is presenting a new increment of the product. Courage is working with all these people, supporting each other and making changes. Yeah, making mistakes takes courage. And so does achieving success. So in Scrum, this is courage. So you see, I mentioned lots of keywords here. You might have even more, but in Scrum, all these ideas are combined into 5 interconnected values: commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. And actually, can I be honest with you? When I was new to Scrum and I first heard about these values, I struggled to memorize them. They kind of made sense to me, but they felt a bit random. It was until I started working with teams that I understood that Scrum values aren't about memorizing them, but understanding their essence. Let's explore how Scrum values operate within Scrum using the scenario described earlier in this episode. So let's imagine you feel that the product that you are working on could benefit from UI improvements based on user feedback about unclear layout and navigation, okay? So drawing on your UI UX experience, you create a redesign recommendation list and plan. And despite your suggestion being initially overlooked, you accept the team's decision and raise it during the sprint retrospective. So let's examine how Scrum values come into play in this situation. Commitment. You commit to the product goal, to inspecting and adapting, and to seeking improvements. You embrace self-organization and challenge yourself and others while seeking and offering support. Focus. You share your ideas based on your focused knowledge, knowing that the best time for such discussions is during the sprint retrospective, ensuring the team's collective learning and improvement. Openness. You openly share your ideas and remain open to change, fostering an environment of continuous improvement. Respect. Despite the team's decision, you respect it and bring your concerns to the sprint retrospective, promoting a culture where all voices are heard and considered. Courage. You demonstrate courage by advocating for changes based on user feedback and by bringing up potentially contentious topics during team discussions. Okay, and now let's consider the perspective that might say it sounds nice in theory but not in practice. Commitment. There is a lack of support resorting to quick fixes rather than committing to continuous improvement and challenging the status quo. Focus. The focus isn't on Scrum events like daily Scrum, sprint reviews, or sprint retrospectives. Efficiency is prioritized over productive discussions, potentially undermining the team's growth and effectiveness. Openness. There is resistance to change and new ideas, hindering innovation and adaptation in response to evolving user needs. Respect. Ignoring constructive criticism and disregarding team members' suggestions can be seen as disrespectful, as every viewpoint should be considered for its potential value. Courage. There is reluctance to acknowledge user feedback and embrace necessary changes, reflecting a lack of courage to challenging existing norms and explore new possibilities. Context is crucial for assessing these dynamics. And it's not about assigning blame, but understanding how context influences outcomes. So, factually, those advocating for change uphold all Scrum values, whereas those resistant risk neglecting them and the essence of the Scrum framework itself. So, let's conclude. These values collectively build trust, each of them playing a vital role. And building trust isn't a walk in a park. It's rather a continuous effort. And perhaps following Scrum values makes achieving trust somewhat easier. The key to fostering trust within the Scrum team and stakeholders lies in consistently embodying these values. So why do Scrum values matter? Why would disregarding Scrum values never lead to trust? Why doesn't Scrum exist without its values? You see, environment matters, and I won't elaborate further on this answer. Understanding why commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage matter is an everyday challenge. Each new day offers an opportunity to redefine these values, to explore something new. But when you implement the Scrum framework in your company, you never forget about them. Ignoring Scrum values can weaken trust and undermine the benefits of using Scrum. I also sought a review from Poa, a product owner, regarding a situation where a new Scrum developer brought up in a sprint retrospective that her ideas were consistently ignored by the rest of Scrum developers and the product owner during her first sprint with the team. So let's see what he suggests. Hi, thanks for the question. From my perspective as a product owner, I would investigate how Scrum developers' ideas align with the product goal and possibly the budget as well. However, based on the example, I see that her ideas are being constantly ignored, indicating that there is no inspection either by the developers or the product owner. This shows that the team is neglecting the value of commitment and isn't providing an adequate support. I would also say that the team disregards her courage, as she bravely brings suggestions, perhaps even sensitive concerns, yet is ignored. Clearly, there is also lack of openness, as the team seems to avoid challenges. It's better to investigate and say no than to ignore outright, but the team or the product owner isn't open to investigation, let alone accepting new challenges. In professional settings like this, accepting each other's insights, backgrounds, skills, and experiences is crucial. Moreover, ignoring someone in such cases is disrespectful, so the value of respect is neglected as well. Okay, thanks for your take for this situation, and I completely agree with you. I hope this team would find a way to make things work and build trust. So once again, commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage.
And I'm glad that there is only one word starting with a vowel, openness. Otherwise, it could have turned into a weird acronym to remember. So just imagine if instead of respect, it were appreciation. And we have to use an acronym like TAPCO. No. No. Thank you. No. Never.
Okay, the best part, answers part. From the know what section, we know the 5 Scrum values and let's identify them. Be cautious, sometimes not all 5 will be present. So don't try to find alternatives if one is missing. But in our case we have commitment is here, answer A, focus is here, answer B, openness is here, answer A, respect is here, answer C, and courage is here, answer D. So the correct answers are A, B, C, D, and E. Easy peasy. And coincidentally, they were all at the beginning. Who made this? Okay, so correct answer here is all of the above. And as stated in the Scrum Guide, when these values are embodied by the Scrum team and the people they work with, the empirical Scrum pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation come to life, building trust. Trust and all 5 Scrum values are interconnected, especially when it comes to the Scrum team and the people they work with. Also make sure that a question is about Scrum team members, as it is in our case. For example, if the question were about, let's say, Scrum developer having challenges trusting a jar or vice versa, the correct answer could have been C, respect, as they are not directly working together. Try to analyze this situation from both sides without bias. Consider which Scrum values are shown by the new Scrum developer and by the other Scrum developers and product owner. And not all 5 values may be relevant in every specific case. In this case, it's important to stress that the team does not support her showing neglect for the commitment value, they disregard her courage, are not open, hence ignoring openness, and are disrespectful, ignoring respect. Overall, this has a negative impact on building trust. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, let me know in the comments. Feel free to suggest other Scrum topics that you are interested in for future videos. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to stay updated with our latest videos. Share this with your friends and I'll see you soon. Bye! Bye-bye! Bye-bye-bye! Goodbye!